Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Breakfast with Sergio. This is episode number 2 as we continue our conversation with Rose Gabler on the book, The Creative Gene. So check it out. We're going to talk about today how we can apply this as artists to our creative life. So don't go anywhere. It's going to be awesome. Well, hi, Rose. Good to see you again.
Good to see you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you again. Now we are here at 33 Contemporary Gallery, which is my gallery, and I really want to have this conversation with you about applying the 5 principles that you speak about here in the book, for an artist, like myself and for our friends watching right here. So, by the way, if you missed the previous episode where we talk about The Creative Gene, which is a brand new book by Rose, definitely you gotta check it out because we talk about the origin story of the book. What's the premise of the book, and today's episode we're going to talk about applying these 5 principles, which is the 5 universal traits to spark success, using the creative gene idea, right? So Rose, really quickly for our friends who perhaps missed the whole first episode, just the 2-minute or less quick blurb about what's your book about.
Yeah, so basically I just wanted to find out how creativity is common amongst people and society and why it is so important for humans to utilize it. And so I went down this journey, this rabbit hole of creativity and interviewed hundreds of people on the topic in different industries to find out what mostly contributes to our creative development and growth. And I found that there were 5 main contributing factors, which are life experience, expertise, environment, flexibility, and grit. And each one of those aspects, when you put them together, contribute to your creative strengths. Very
cool, very exciting. So today we're going to talk a little bit about more in depth about those creative strengths, right? When it comes to the artist's life. And in the previous episode, we talked a little bit about this idea of us artists and our friends who are watching here. We feel very creative when we are in the studio because that's our universe, right? That's our place, and where we create the work and we make the art. That's when the creative uses are happening. We get out of the studio, now we go into our marketing or business, all the business aspects, how the running of the art career in the world. And that's where sometimes, the walls come in, the mindset blocks, the idea like, I don't know, I don't feel creative when I get out of the studio. How can your book in particular can help us kind of deal with some of those mindsets and achieve success using those creative ideas?
Sure. So as artists, you're already halfway through the journey. Accepting the fact that you have the creative strength within you, acknowledging it and utilizing it in the most genuine sense possible is the biggest hurdle for most people. So that's a big check mark. It's a huge check mark because you already have that expression out there. So that is one huge aspect of the creativity that I think is, like I said, is the biggest struggle for most people. So from that point, it's really just trying to find how you're going to connect with the audience, because right now, one of the most important aspects of building a business or a brand is the storytelling. It's finding out more about who you are as a person and what you want to achieve. And so by finding those genuine aspects of your creativity that connect to other people, that can be approachable and applicable in new ways, those are the manners that you should be focusing on for your distribution, for your exhibition, and so on and so forth.
I'm so happy that you're talking about story, because I just did a few weeks ago a whole series of episodes on telling your artist story. So I think that feels really nice to hear it from you, and how important it is that our story is shared, because that it becomes a magnet for others who may be going through this. Now, and sometimes I think for artists it might be a little difficult to think about, well, I'm an artist and maybe the person who I'm trying to reach may not see himself or herself as creative. So how can we make that connection?
Right. And that's one of the funniest parts of this whole researching series, because as I was interviewing accountants, they were telling me if I'm creative in my job, I get fired.
You gotta be too creative with numbers, right?
Right, yeah, exactly. So, but then as I got into deeper conversations with them, just about their interests in general, they enjoyed music, and then they talked about the science of music and how that connected to them numerically, and then that ultimately contributed to how they built their classes for their students, because they were also a professor. So it's really it's not first level, it's a deeper level. It's a deeper level of connection. So the ultimate part of it is to not put the responsibility on yourself to understand everybody for the surface level. You know, it's about genuine connections like flourish and blossom on their own. So by seeking out communities that are in the same realm as you, that that have the same core values as you, you'll continue to find that alignment between your creativity and your audience.
Right. Do you believe everyone is creative?
Yes.
Okay.
Whether they want to believe it or not,
Yeah.
they are. They appreciate it, they respect it, they think creatively. You know, creativity is a part of survival. We as a species have only continued to grow and evolve because of creativity and courage and evolution and change. So the fact that we are still here today is showcasing the fact that we are all creative in one manner or another.
And you also talk a lot about aligning ourselves to our goals and aspirations that we have through this creative gene idea. So tell me a little bit about for us as artists, as we look at our career and the things that we want to accomplish and the things that we want to do, our goals, which we talk about here too in the program. Tell me a little bit about how this book can help us to align ourselves to those goals that we want to achieve.
Definitely. So my advice would really be to begin with some reflection on your core values. Because when you're in creator mode, you create, and you have it inside you, and you just keep going because it's you coming to life. But by taking some time to reflect on what triggered the creation, what is standing out to you, and what images and experiences you have throughout your day that make an impact on you. Those are going to be aspects of your personal creativity that will continue to transition and evolve and grow in different ways.
Very cool, very exciting. Well, we want to invite all our friends to get the book, The Creative Gene. Where can the friends find it?
Amazon.
Amazon.com. And also, where can they find you in social media and in your website?
Yeah, I'm at on Instagram at RoseGab or at The Creativity Gene, and my website is rosegabler.com.
Super. And now I went to your website and I saw that there was also like a self-assessment on finding your superpowered.
Yeah.
Right? Tell me a little bit about that superpowered idea.
Yeah, so again, those 5 contributing factors I believe are associated with superpowers of creativity. And so if you go onto my website, you can click on quiz and it'll take you to this small fun assessment that tells you a little bit more about where your creative strengths derive from, the deepest of the core of your creative strengths. So, and it's just like a fun little way to get to know your creative self a little bit better.
My favorite question was the one on IKEA.
Yeah.
How did you put together an IKEA furniture? Did you follow step by step, or you're like, eventually it's gonna happen? That was my answer. Eventually it's gonna get it done.
Exactly. Yeah. Everybody handles IKEA furniture differently, but it is part of creativity.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Rose, again for spending time with us. It was really amazing to have these 2 sessions, and we want to invite our friends. Of course, go back, check the previous session, go ahead and get the book, The Creative Gene, and reach out to Rose through social media, and you can follow everything that she's doing. Thank you for what you're doing also for the art community, and for giving back to the art community as well in great ways.
My pleasure.
I'll continue following you and see all the amazing things that you continue doing.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It was so fun.
Thank you, Rose. Thanks to all our friends for watching. Please do us a big favor. Spread the gene. So spread the creative gene and share this episode with all your friends. Have a good day. We'll see you later. Bye.